welcome back to my channel. Today I have a first impression sort of review of a new foundation from YSL. I'm going to be sort of applying it to my face, going about my regular day, and then kind of checking back in with y'all to see what I think about it. And the foundation that we're going to be reviewing today is the All Hours foundation from YSL, and this claims to be up to 24-hour wear, flawless matte, and full coverage. So I thought I would give this one a go. I recently tried out the new Laura Mercier foundation, so I thought maybe now would be a time to sort of try another new comparable foundation for you guys. So that is exactly what we're going to get into today. So if you are interested in seeing more about this foundation, then keep watching. But the foundation from YSL claims to be long wearing, 24-hour wear. It claims that it will be pore blurring, and also it says that it will look just applied pretty much all day long. So this is the container or the packaging, if you will. It does say to shake well before use. So this is the packaging. It's got a really nice frosted glass. It has this stripe down the sides, and then the cap with the YSL on it. So it's very, very nice packaging. It does say that it has an SPF 20 in this, so we'll have to see if there's like flashback or anything with photography, but having SPF on daily wear is really nice to help protect your skin from the sun. Looking at Sephora, it claims to give you full coverage and instantly blurs pores and fine lines and provides uninterrupted flawless wear that looks like you just applied it all day. And it says that it won't cake, dry, flake, or fade. It's transfer proof, it's oil free, and non-pore clogging. So there's a lot of claims that this foundation makes, a lot of claims that I would be interested in. I think most people would be interested in. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this a go. I got the shade B40, which is sand. Sephora.com, I think they have like 20 or so shades, so they have like a decent shade range. There's some like more pink ones and yellow undertones and a few like deeper shades for the darker skin tones. So yeah, we are just going to go ahead and apply this, and I'm going to use my primer first. For primer, I'm going to use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water, and then I recently broke out this again from Josie Maran, and this is the Surreal Skin Finishing Balm. It just gives you a really nice finish to your skin, a little bit like luminosity. So I'm going to use those for my primers before I go into using the foundation itself. I'm going to put 2 pumps on the back of my hand to start with. And I'm going to be using a sort of denser kabuki type brush. This is the 102 Silk Finish from Zoeva. This is my preferred method for applying foundations. I'm just going to dot this all over my face because that's kind of what I do. It's a little bit runnier of a formula, but it's not like super runny or anything. Sometimes like they can be more of a moussey texture, but this one is a little bit more liquidy. And I just like to pat this into my skin. This seems to be doing well with this brush. It's not soaking up like too much of the product. I definitely think I only need like one squirt, like one little squirt from the bottle, because I still have quite a bit left. And if you look, this coverage is like really nice. I have on my first like layer, if you will, of foundation, and I think that it actually looks really nice, and it does have a nice coverage to it. There's a couple of spots that I see could use like maybe a little bit more coverage, but initial impressions is that it is definitely a full coverage foundation, and I do think it has like a really nice finish to it. It doesn't look like super matte right now. It might dry down a little bit more matte, so we'll see what that looks like. But overall, I do like this color on me. I think that it matched pretty well. I'm gonna go ahead and use the rest of this and sort of do like a build up another layer and see what that looks like. Alright, so that's 2 pumps of the foundation. I think that it looks really good. It definitely has very full coverage, so if you're interested in that, it definitely has that full coverage that it claims to have. I think that it definitely has a really nice smooth finish to it. I feel like it looks nice. I feel like it does have that blurring effect to it. It looks really nice on the skin. I think that overall it doesn't feel super heavy. It's not like the most lightweight formula, but at the same time it isn't like really heavy like some other full coverage foundations can be. So far I really am liking it. I think the coverage is good. I think that the finish is really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup and come back and kind of like review a little bit more about it, and then I'll check in later as well. So I'll be right back. Alright, so we have returned. I finished the rest of my makeup, and I used a couple of products I want to just like go over with you real quick. So I set my face with this Bare Minerals Invisible Light palette, and I used the matte one here. So I basically just set my concealer and my T-zone using this matte one right here, and it's really nice and like soft and finely milled. So I've been using that recently to set all of my liquids, so I wanted to stay consistent and use this again today. And then for my concealers, I used the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Super Concealer, which is a new one, and the Tarte Shape Tape. So I just used the Shape Tape in the very like inner corners, just like a tiny little dot, and then this is like the main concealer that I have been using. So I think that overall both of those concealers blended out really nicely into the foundation. It didn't like pick up, when I used the Beauty Blender, it didn't like pick up any of the foundation with it. Sometimes that happens. Everything really just melded nicely together, and then it set really easily with my powder. And like I said, I just did my under eyes and my T-zone, and I didn't set like my entire face. I did obviously add some bronzer and a little bit of blush on as well, and neither of those had issues blending out. They blended out really nicely, and it's just like my regular like bronzer and blush that I use. Nothing like new in my routine, and it blended out really easily on the skin. They didn't like cling to the foundation or anything, so the foundation set really nicely. Definitely like a soft matte sort of finish, I feel like. And then I added a little bit of highlighters. Where you see that little bit there is coming from highlight that I added. So overall, I think that this foundation is really nice. It looks really good. If you're looking for a really full coverage foundation, I think that this is a really nice one. I think that the finish of it is like amazing. It just looks really nice on the skin. I just feel like my skin looks good. This does retail for $58, and you get 0.84 ounces, so a little less than 1 ounce, which is like the typical amount that you get. I don't think that you need a lot of it. It does have a pump top. It have this really nice pump top, so you don't like overuse any of it. You can do like a half a pump, a full pump if you want to do 2 pumps. I did 2 pumps today on my face, and I feel like it gave really nice full coverage. I didn't even necessarily need both pumps, but I wanted to see like what I could build it up to. I think that like if you do a sheer application and then just like maybe a little bit heavier in spots that you have like trouble in, then you can build it up for this like really full coverage look too, for the days that you want that. The pump top is nice also, not just for like control of how much liquid you're getting, but also for like sanitary reasons. I don't know, it just feels a lot like cleaner just to have a little pump instead of, you know, like putting it like on your hand or, you know, beating it out or whatever, you know, like it to me just seems a little bit like cleaner, like you're not going to get foundation all over the place, which is also a really nice plus. So I think right now I'm really loving this foundation just based solely off of the application, the finish, and like the full coverage of it. It just really is a really nice foundation. I'm going to run some errands today. It's kind of late in the day already. It's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock. My screen is broken, so don't pay attention to that. But I still have to go run a couple errands. We're gonna be out like and about, and I want to say it's like pretty hot today. I think they had like a weather advisory for like a heat advisory. So yeah, it's 94 degrees and 53% humidity. Pretty hot and humid today if you want a comparison of like, I don't know, atmosphere or whatever, or like climate of like where I live, and you know, like how well this foundation will stand up to that hot humid climate. We will find out today. So yeah, I will check back in a little while. I'm going to film another video and then run some errands. So I still have several hours. It's not going to be like a 24-hour wear test just because I don't have 24 hours to do that. But I think that giving it a go for the rest of the day, we'll see how it does. So I'll check back in a little while. Hey guys, so I am back for my check-in. It is almost 10 o'clock. Let me check the time. It's 9:49. So I've had this on for a few hours now, and I ran some errands, went around outside, like we were out at the grocery store and shopping, whatever, had to water the grass. So I have also eaten dinner and just kind of watched some TV. So a few hours has passed by, and I wanted to give you guys another look at this foundation, let you guys know if my thoughts change over time on this foundation. Right now I am really enjoying it. I think that it has stayed on really well, and I don't feel really all that oily. A little oily like on my nose, but other than that I don't think it's that bad. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see a little bit closer up. Alright, so we're zoomed in and you can see I have a little bit more like oiliness on my nose area, and while I'm not necessarily like oily per se, but I am a little bit shiny, but not to where it looks bad in my opinion. I think that it looks fine. It looks, you know, like kind of glowy, so I'm okay with that. I'm too terribly bad. I think it stayed pretty well. I think there's a little bit like creasing in the nose area, and like a little bit of breakup on my nose, and just a little bit of shininess, but honestly not at all compared to other foundations that I have used in the past. It's very long wearing so far. I like the way that it's worn throughout the day. It hasn't really broken up like really bad. I don't feel like it's, you know, slipping off my face like sometimes long wear foundations can feel like by the end of the day. Look of the foundation after wearing it for a few hours. Honestly, like my bronzer, it's gotten a little bit like patchy, you know, but that's, you know, to be expected. Those types of products don't last nearly as long as like a foundation does. I'm gonna zoom back out real quick for you guys because I know you don't want to just be like this up and close to my face. So overall, my opinions are that I like the foundation. I like the finish. I feel like it does last pretty long compared to the new Laura Mercier foundation that just came out. I think I like this one more. That one I do like. This one I feel like wears a little better throughout the day, and I just like the finish just a little bit more. I feel like it might be a little more coverage than the Laura Mercier one, but I do like both of them. Overall, this one has very little like breakup in my opinion on my face compared to like what I normally see. The price point is a little high, but that's to be expected for a luxury foundation. This one retails for $58, so pretty much you're gonna spend $60 on it. I recently also just bought the Giorgio Armani, I think it's like the Pore fabric one, and that one's like $64. So it's definitely, it is expensive, but there are other more expensive foundations out there. So I feel like if you are into like great quality high-end foundations. Not saying that there aren't good quality at the drugstore, but I often find it hard to find one that I like at the drugstore. If you want a really nice high-end foundation, I do feel like this is a really good one. I feel like if I was to blot and powder my face, you know, like midday, that it would keep your foundation intact like the entire day. But even if you weren't to touch up, I feel like it still looks really good and it wears in a natural way. Like it doesn't look like you have foundation melting down your face. So overall, this foundation gets an A+ for me. I really like it. Even though the price point is high, I feel like it's really good quality. It's good for special occasions. I feel like if you're just wanting to have like a really nice base, I say try this one out. If you're dry, you may not like it, but I have seen some reviewers on Sephora that have dry skin that say that they like it. So you may just want to go into Sephora and like get a sample and try it out first. If you're oily, I think that you will definitely like this since it is a matte long wear foundation. I did want to mention that this is almost like 5 stars on Sephora and it has like 180 reviews. So there's definitely a lot of reviews on there that can give you a little bit more like insights on what people think of the product itself. So with that said, I am pretty happy with this foundation and I am going to be wearing it probably a lot because it's just really great. I hope that you enjoyed this video, getting to see this wear test. I'm thinking about doing another one like this for the Giorgio Armani foundation I just got. So if you're interested in seeing that one, let me know down in my comments. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!